But what is the use doing? They are creating a splinter group. So is that how we think as youth? Because everybody thinks about what they will gain as a person. That is the problem. Selfish interest, selfish thinking, selfish mentality, selfish attitude. Nobody is thinking about the good and the betterment of the country. That is why we are where we are. We keep blaming the old people when we are even worse than the old people. Because what this guy just did, he betrayed Peter Obi, he betrayed the entire Obidient family, and he was director of finance at that time. That's why these old men will hold this power until they say they don't want to hold it. No youth, we have access. So are you telling me that as Nigerian youth, we cannot come together, bring up our own candidate, a youth candidate, and all Nigerian youth, we mobilize funding. When every Nigerian send 1,000 to the campaign account, do you know how many million Nigerian youth constitute over 60% of Nigerian population? So if over 100 million Nigerians deposit 1,000 naira at least to campaign fund, we have mobilized billions for our own candidate, and the Nigerian youth will support. Everybody will vote for that youth. We will knock off these old people. But look at what we are doing. Dissipating our energy, creating splinter groups, because we want our own personal political favor and to make personal money. Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. This is Andy Media TV. I just watched a video from one group, who claim to be forming the movement Nigeria, and that group is a group that dovetail from the Obidient Movement. So they are part of the Obidient Movement of Mr. Peter Obi in 2023 election. And the guy who break away from the Obidient group, architect Peter Agada, who was spearheading this movement, spoke quite a whole lot of things in the speech, and I was watching him saying that it doesn't, have any personal relationship with Mr. Peter Obi, that he only, functioned or worked as the director of finance, during the Obidient Movement wave, prior to the 2023 general election, and that his reason for, creating this splinter group is because there was no structure, during the Obidient Movement wave, and that is kind of person that, likes structure, that wants things to go this way, that way. We're just giving a whole lot of, excuses and reasons why, he kind of break away and trying to form this new movement. But it's quite, pathetic, seeing, what is really going on. So, but for me, I think there's quite a whole lot of attack, on the person of Mr. Peter Obi, because like Peter Obi have always said in most of his videos that the whole agenda is that they don't want him to be in the ballot. He has said this repeatedly, that everything they are doing, whether against the Labour Party when he was there, whether against ADC or whoever, is targeted at him as a person, because he's been seen as a threat, all right? And based on the kind of support, the support base he has, the kind of wave he created during the 2023 election without any structure and all of that. So they see him as a kind of a possible threat against the APC, party. So that's why all kinds of activities have been generated to kind of try to push him out of the political space or try to weaken, his base. You recall that anywhere ADC gather, there must be talks that will come and scatter the environment. It's happening, and it's happening every time. But APC gathers, nothing happens, right? And probably other political parties will not even know their names. But once it's ADC, because Peter Obi is there, there must be, some atom of violence. We have seen, he was even shot in Edo State. It's over there in the news. And also, you recall that the last straw they are pulling now is to attack his support base. And that is why this group just emerged from nowhere. So, but I have quite a whole lot of things to, talk about this group. But before I will go into talking about the things I have, penciled down in what he said in his what I call it, inaugural speech or whatever it may be, or press statement. Then, if you are new to this channel, please kindly like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and put on your notification bell so that when my next new video drop, you will be among those that will be notified. Don't miss this opportunity to be in line with what is trending in the political space. That's why Andy Media TV is here for you. All right, let's look into a lot of things that he said, and quite a number of issues I have with what is really going on. But I'm gonna play that video. But it's a lengthy video, almost close to 20 minutes. But I think I will just do my discussion and then play the video towards the end of this video, because I don't want this video to be too long, because I don't think there are anything to worry about. But you have to put your radar on to know what is going on around your political environment, especially when you are maybe a candidate, or you have interest in what is going on in your political system. Because you select good candidate, at the end of the day, the country works for everybody. You select a bad candidate, the country continue to degenerate and go down to the pit, just like you can see what is going on in the political space, where you see the president going to the UK for, a state visit, and virtually everybody in Nigeria, went to receive him. Senators, ministers, just name them. And all these people's trip are funded by Nigerian taxpayers' money, just to go and shake hands with the president and tell him, welcome to UK. That's it. So it's quite unfortunate. And that's why that, many people were killed in a bomb blast in Medugri, a night or 2 nights before the travel. And they still went on. The vice president was in Anambra for the second term inauguration of, Governor Professor Charles Soludo. So when you look at what is happening, you see that these people don't just care. They don't just care about any damn body. They don't care. They don't give a damn about what happens to anybody in the country. What they care is their political movement. What they care about is holding power, grabbing it, snatching it, and running with it. That's just what they care about. All right, so bomb blast, killing citizens, over 100 and something injured, and the president jet out to UK and all of that. So anyway, 700 million more important than people's life. It is what it is. That's how the government function, basically. So guys, let's look into this guy and see what his intentions are and what they are even trying to achieve. So first and foremost, from the video that I watched, all right, I saw a kind of a sellout from him, from the Peter Agada, who was spearheading that movement. I saw a big sellout from him, and I will tell you why I say so. Number one, from what he said with his mouth, he said that he was the director of finance for the Obidient Movement, right, during the 2022 to 2023 general election, when the Obidient wave, was there. So being a director of finance, that's a top-notch position, when it comes to a political party, right? You control the funding, you control the finances, he knows what's going on, in everything, whatever they are paying for, whatever money is coming in and all of that. So you should be aware. And for you to be given that position, obviously you must be a trusted person and close to the principal, right? Because you can't just be appointed as director of finance without any pedigree or whatever it may be. So for Mr. Peter Obi in the Obidient Movement, allowing him to be that, play that role, at that time, means there must be some atom of closeness. There must be some kind of, at least relationship, whether it's working relationship or personal relationship. There must be some kind of, stuff like that. Just like we saw Aisha Yusufu at that time too. Aisha cannot come out and say that it doesn't have personal relationship with Peter Obi. That would be a big fat lie. But this same guy who is spearheading this movement, Nigeria, said that he does not have personal relationship with Peter Obi. That's what he said. But he worked for him as director of finance. That's okay. So the question is that, what he's saying, he said that in 2020, when we have the NSAS, stuff, and from the NSAS, then the Obidient Movement dovetailed from there. And he said that the Obidient Movement did not succeed, or the NSAS did not succeed because there was no kind of leadership and what have you. And then the Obidient Movement that came up in 2022 to 2023 did not establish that structure as it were, and that wave came and passed. So that his agenda is to build that structure. I don't know what he means by building that structure. Which structure are you building? This is just a movement, coming together of some people, trying to form a voice, something like that. It's not as if they are contesting for election, that they have any candidate to project for election. So what he's now saying is that his mission or his focus is to create this platform to give Nigerians a voice. My dear, what he's saying, is he not duplicating what Obidient is doing already? So there's already Obidient Movement who created the platform, brought all Nigerians together, especially the youths, right, who decided that they are not members of any political parties. Not that some people are not members of political parties, but they have one common goal, and that common goal is to create a new Nigeria. And that is why you always see Peter Obi, when he posts his tweet, he will put under it that PO, in capital, and then possible, the remaining part of the possible. So telling you that new Nigeria is possible. And during that 2023 election, when they looked at it, the whole candidate, they felt that Peter Obi, one, is closer to them as a younger person. Two, Peter Obi is someone that mingles with all class of people, rich, poor, middle class, everybody. And again, Peter Obi possesses that kind of personality they are looking at. Somebody that is not corrupt, not that he's a saint, but you know what I mean. Looking at other parties, some of them don't even know when they were born. Some of them don't even know the school they attended. Primary school before this primary school was even established. Some of them have certificate scandal, some of them have drug, scandal, and some of them have corruption scandal, just a whole lot of stuff. But as for Peter Obi, he's not in that league, that have all those kind of attachment. And that's why this Obidient Movement group felt that Peter Obi is the candidate for them. And they coagulate voices and supported him in 2023. And everybody saw the waves, how he was winning virtually all the states, including the FCT, including the presidential villa polling booth manned by APC. He won there. So telling you that Nigeria believe that this guy, has some potential, the capacity, the character, the integrity, the empathy, and credibility to be able to lead the country. So, and that is why they rallied around him and supported him. So Obidient Movement is not supporting party. They are supporting individuals who they believe have the capacity. And I recall that is the reason why even some people that joined the Labour Party at that time were able to even win an election, enter the House of Reps and the Senate, and even some other state houses of assembly and what have you, even governor in Abia State. So when you look at that, you see that that's exactly what Obidient Movement stands for. They are not in support of party. They are only in support of any credible candidate they feel has the potential to lead the nation. So coming back to this group that call themselves Movement Nigeria, exactly what Obidient is doing or has done and continue to be doing is exactly what they now came out and said they want to do. So they break away from Obidient to come and replicate the same thing Obidient is doing. Make it to make sense to me, please. So when you look at all these things, I understand how this whole thing functions. This group called themselves the Movement Nigeria. Let me tell you the fact. The fact is that these guys, they were there during the Obidient Movement of 2022 to 2023 general election. They saw how powerful the Obidient was in terms of the candidate they are backing. And at that time, most of these guys who were part of the Obidient were also part of political party, while some were non-member of any political party. But they supported their man and pushed him to the point that he came third, according to INEC. But let's not go into how people perceive the election at the end of the day. So the issue now is that you are forming Obidient Movement Nigeria to do what? According to him, they want to set up a platform that will enable Nigerians to have access into political space, have access into understanding what is going on and play a part, be part of the process. Was Nigerians not part of the process in 2023? They were. How? Through Obidient Movement. They were there. Nigerian youth, everybody was there, voting through the Obidient platform. That's why they were stopping so many people from voting, during that election, especially in Lagos State, where they were attacking people and threatening people and all of that, because they know that this guy, Peter Obi, there was commanding a whole lot of force. Now, why are you replicating what Obidient is already doing? And you guys were part of the, Obidient Movement. But my problem with them is that you are replicating the same thing Obidient is doing, because he said that they don't have any. They were pressing him. Who are you people supporting? He said they are not supporting anybody. That their platform is open to anybody to fly with their platform. That is in terms of to reach out to them and they can support the person and what have you. That's the idea. What does that tell you? That tells you that because of his understanding of how the Obidient Movement functioned for people to be then, so he now felt that the wisest thing to do is to create a splinter group through which he can mobilize people. And when he has mobilized these people, he will now be ready by 2027 for the highest bidder to come and approach them. Do you understand? That is why they are open. They are not supporting any candidate. They are open. So what does he tell you? So any bidder who comes to them and say, hey, I can see you guys have 20 million members. Hey, can you guys support our party, support our candidate and all that? They will negotiate. When they negotiate, obviously we put his interest first. Either they will tell him, if we win, you will get ministerial position. That's it. The other members of the group will not know what the negotiation that happened in the night. They won't know what happened. So he will just tell them, we think this candidate is credible, let's support this candidate, blah, blah, blah. And they will roll with him, believing in him that he knows what he's doing. At the end of the day, let's assume the candidate wins. The next day, you will see his name as a ministerial position. And other members lose this out. That's how this game works. So when election is coming like this, that's why you see different groups. You will now see, you can see City Boy movement for Tinubu now. Those people who are forming the City Boy under Tinubu's son, like Obi Kubana Chief Priest, and the rest of them, what do you think they are doing? Their intention is not about supporting Tinubu. Their intention is to protect their interests. They are businessmen. They already have money, unquote. So, but money is not enough. You also need political power. When you have money and you have political power, then you are untouchable. As they stand now, working for Tinubu under City Boy movement, even if Kubana has a problem now, or Kubana Chief Priest, you can't just arrest them. No. Call will come from presidency and tell you, leave them alone. It doesn't matter what they committed. That is why they are punching into political power. Because if you are too wealthy and you don't have political power, the government can still drag you and mess you up publicly. So you can see their protection now. So that's why you see, if you ask them, sit down to ask them, be truthful to me. Are you really convinced of what you are doing? You will hear them. They will tell you the truth. So they are doing this thing for personal interest, basically. But many people who are following them are also doing same because they feel that these people, they command a lot of resources coming from federal government plus their own. They will throw a lot of things out at them. They will grab it and find their level. So it is what it is. You saw what happened in Owerri. How they bought deep freezer, sewing machine, and you saw what happened. Very chaotic. People came in and took everything even before they could start to do the program itself. So that's exactly what the situation is. You steal from federal government, we steal from you. It is what it is. So this guy is just creating his platform, lying in wait for all these guys who are contesting election, whether you are contesting for Senate, House of Rep, presidency, governorship, and so he has a large target. This target is not just for presidential position. His target is across the whole political spectrum. Because when you approach them, they negotiate with you, and you have to provide funding too. Because what they are doing requires funding to do mobilization, go around the country, trying to mobilize people from the, localities and all of that. How many people have opportunity to be on the platform, social media? Because he's talking about using social media platform and all of that. Exactly what Obidient did. So why are you replicating what Obidient did? If you believe that Obidient doesn't have a structure, or they did not establish that structure the way you thought, why didn't you bring the conversation to the DG of Obidient Movement? You should tell him, hey, I think it's better we go this direction in 2027 to strengthen Obidient Movement and make it more powerful so that we will be close to or winning the election. That's exactly what he's supposed to do. Why should we be, dissipating our energy, weakening the support base that is already existing? So let's assume that these guys that break away, let's assume that there are 2 million people. It means you have taken away 2 million people from Obidient base. That's the point. So if the person that will utilize the Obidient base now, assuming he's supposed to get 10 million votes minus 2 million, he'll be getting 8 million. Let's just do the small analysis. You understand what I'm saying now? So the fact is that he's not doing that for any interest of the country or any interest of the people. He's doing this for his personal interest. Because if you care about Nigeria and you supported the Obidient Movement, even if you say you are not obedient, but you worked under the Obidient Movement, was there till the election lasted. Since 2023, election was won and lost. Tinubu was sworn in. You did not come up with a plan to present it to the Obidient Movement DG and say, hey, this is what I thought. We made mistake in 2023. Now that 2027 is far ahead of us, let's start now to build this structure, this support base, to make it stronger and better and all of that. That's what you're supposed to do if you really have the interest of the Nigerian populace, and if you really believe in Peter Obi's vision for this country. That is what I think he would have done. But he didn't do that. 2023 passed, 2024 passed, 2025 passed, then 2026, months to election, less than a year to the election, you came out, created Splinter group. So if you look at it, if you dig deep into what is going on, you will understand that these guys must have been approached, God knows by who, and God knows what they must have been approached with to create this Splinter group. When it comes to Nigeria, anything is possible. The people you think that they have credibility, until when money comes, you will know whether they really have credibility or not. So the way he's presenting himself is an architect. He likes structure. He has been this for over 30 years. He has been building physical structures, and that's BS, total BS. You get it? So if you want Nigerian to work, just like every other Nigerian youth, because we are always the victim of what goes on in Nigeria, these older people who have grabbed power and seized power, they don't need it for anything. They just need it to be living flamboyantly till they go and leave this earth. It's we that they have long years. Who goes to school, no job, who come out, some become insurgents, some become bandits, some become this thing, some can't even go to school. The school building is dilapidated, some are schooling under the tree. You go to hospital, nothing, no oxygen, no ambulance, no nothing, no medication. You suffer there. Pregnant women die like chicken because nobody takes care of them. People graduate from medical school, they jet abroad because that's where they are valued. And all of that. You were the victim, the youth. That's why the youth came together in 2020 to form the Obidient. And they supported their candidate. At the end, they were robbed. Whatever Professor Mahmoud Yakubu did in INEC at that time, and announcing result by 3 to 4 a.m. in the morning when people are sleeping, only him know what he did to Nigerians. But God will judge every one of them that played a part in truncating, democracy. Because what we are practicing today is no longer democracy. When everybody is being pushed into one party, and Nigerian constitution said multi-party system. People are not allowed to, gather together as a political party. The moment they gather, they send talks, and talks will scatter everybody. And is that what we are talking about? Democracy? That's not democracy anymore. That's what. I can't even know what to call them. That's the honest truth. So this guy is just sowing seed for his breakthrough for 2027. That's what it is. And I was so surprised seeing some people around him putting on the t-shirt. And well, all the questions press were asking him, he didn't go direct. Who are you supporting? He couldn't answer. He said it's open to everybody. They are not supporting Asiwaju, they are not supporting Peter Obi, they are not supporting Atiku, they are not supporting any candidate. But their platform is open for any candidate. How does it make sense? So, from all the candidates that have already declared interest, Peter Obi, Amaechi, Atiku, and Bola Tinubu, 4 of them we know today that have declared interest. So, none of them is viable for the party, for the movement to decide where they are pitching their tent. That's why I can't answer you, because it's open for any bidder to come in, bring what they require before they can support that person. Remember, during Abacha, 1 million man march. So, everybody creates platform so they can catch in and get whatever they can get. Remember, there is all this youth movement and whatever. Don't worry. Between now and the next election, between this March and December, you will see different groups coming up. All those groups are just coming to see what they can get from campaign funds from these parties and from these candidates, so that they can just share the money and disappear. That's what it is. So they are lying in wait, waiting for who to approach them. If you approach them, they give you conditions, what you need to do for them. Either you are giving them money, right, which obviously they're going to share at the back end, or you allot political positions to them where you win, and so on and so forth. Even if you are giving them political position, you will see drop money, because they need money to move around, to start telling people, oh, this is the candidate. So now, they are now opposing Obedience, Splinter group. And when you look at this, it looks like Tinubu's strategy, because you just check it, it's a strategy. So the next move they are making now is to weaken P2B's base. But I don't know how it will work, because the Obedient group are very core and magnetic to P2B. So if you listen to what the guy is saying, he said that this group is not made, it's created on personality, it's created on an ideology. Because Obidient Movement, they take from the name P2B, that is Obi. So they just coined it to form Obidient Movement. So that's why he's saying, so you can say everything he's saying is attacking, P2B and his platform. That's exactly what is happening. So it's an opposing brand, to attack P2B's base. And if you look at this, you can see the voice of Jacob and the hand of Esau. That's exactly what it is. So if we can dig deep into this group, dig deep on individuality, the individuals in this group, and begin to track their connections, you will see what I'm telling you clearly. I understand this game. I understand how it works. I've been in this thing. I've studied politics for quite a long time in Nigeria. So I know how they breed. I know how they work. If you check my, permutations in rivers during same for Fubara and the weekend, all my permutations, came to happen, because I understand how they think and I know how they behave in Nigeria, politicians. So this guy, this architect that is forming this movement Nigeria, that is his expectation. Create a group, form a movement, coagulate people to join the group. When they join, build a base. When you build a base, wait for politicians that will approach, or you can approach them by yourself. Tell them that you have this voice, you have this platform, you can do this, you can do that. Look at your social media platform. You have 10 million followers in YouTube, in Facebook, in TikTok, and this and that. So you can reach out to many Nigerian youths and woo them to vote for you. And that you play this part during the Obidient Movement, so you know what you are doing. What can they offer? You have a discussion, and they give you what they can offer. Wire the money in cash. This kind of money doesn't go through bank. They bring it in Ghana must go. And then they will tell you, if we win, we have Minister of Finance or Minister of this. And then the guy will go to work. All the followers who know the discussion that took place at the back end, they will be working that, their leader knows what they are doing. Oh, yeah, this candidate. It will convince them, even if it's the wrong candidate, it will convince his group. And along the line, even if the group scatter, he has cashed out already. So doesn't care what happens to the group. Until next 2031 election, it will come out again. It will rebrand the name to another name and come out. Or put somebody else as the face and be at behind, because he has, he messed up in the previous one. So these are the things we need to watch out for. Okay? So guys, I don't know, but what we are doing, especially with the youth, do we really want Nigeria to work? Because if we do, these people that is claiming to be Movement Nigeria, they should not have started what they are doing. If you think Obidient Movement has some weaknesses here and there, bring it up, put it to the leadership, and they will strengthen it. And the group will become more stronger and get more people into it to be able to, fight for the 2027 general election. But what we are doing, you are not helping anybody. You are weakening the existing structure that is there. And when you talk about structure, I listened to Chidiake Dixon the other day, Senator Dixon, former governor of Bayelsa State, who is standing on the part of the people. And he said that 2027 election is between APC and the Nigerian people. And that's exactly what it is, because there's no more party to compete with APC. Even the ADC is already shaking. They are shaking. They are in court. They want to deregister them. And anywhere they gather, they scatter them with talks. So they can't even gather to do anything politically. Right? And the Obidient Movement they already have. They have set up another movement to weaken them, to puncture the Obidient Movement. So they don't want them to breathe. So what is the next step? Is for the whole Nigerians to come together as one people and be able to vote, the right candidate and take off this bad leadership that we have today. APC as a party does not deserve to rule any part of Nigeria, because what they are doing here, I don't know how to explain it. How will you be a leader and people are suffering? How will you be a leader? They massacre your people with bombs. Over 100 and something injured. You fly out of the country for a state visit, which can be rescheduled at any time. So and you even took Minister of Defense, took all NSA, all the top security chiefs were with you. I thought you asked them to go to Medugri, to relocate to Medugri. What is Medugri now in UK, where they went with you? So when you look at all this, they will just come talk, no action. Oh, it's mandating all the security to relocate to Medugri. If they relocate to Medugri, and so what? Is if the first time we are here, Buhari came in 2015 and said he's relocating the command base to Medugri. All the service chiefs to go. They went there. What happened? Did anything change? No. Things can only change when government is sincere to fight insecurity. When the government is sincere to fight insecurity, that's when they will push hard, attack these people, name them terrorists, both the bandits people and all of them. Tag them terrorists, fight them like terrorists, and deal with them. Provide arms and ammunition, provide equipment for the guys doing the battle, and pay them very well, so they can be motivated to do their job. And not that people, they kidnap people, you go and call bandit on the phone, tell them, please release them, we won't touch you people. We won't touch you people. They will release the children. And you come on TV and say, oh, they have released all of them. No arrest, no killing, no nothing, no attack, no nothing. They just release the whole children. Who is deceiving who? This is why our system is the way it is. Because even with the youth, who we think are the agent of change, look at what we are doing. Creating another platform that is already existing. What for? But look at the elderly people. They felt that if Peter Obi is running for presidency in a Labour Party, Atiku is running in PDP, Amechi is running in another party, and all of that they will not make any impact. That is better than for them to come together in one umbrella, so that they will pull all their support base together to be able to match APC. That's why all of them moved into ADC as a coalition, party. That is the idea. And we, the youth, instead of putting our own forces under Obidient, no matter what their weaknesses are, that weakness can be strengthened. Every youth would have jumped into the Obidient and then support that same, candidate at the end of the day. And with that force, with more new people that will come in and all of that, people who are tired of APC and their government, who is tired of Tinubu's administration, everybody will join there, and then they can be able to match APC. But what is the youth doing? They are creating a splinter group. So is that how we think as youth? Because everybody thinks about what they will gain as a person. That is the problem. Selfish interest, selfish thinking, selfish mentality, selfish attitude. Nobody is thinking about the good and the betterment of the country. That is why we are where we are. We keep blaming the old people when we are even worse than the old people. Because what this guy just did, he has shown his kind of person. He's a betrayer to the Obidient family. That's what he is. He's a betrayer. He betrayed Peter. He betrayed the entire Obidient family. And he was director of finance at that time. So it's quite unfortunate what we are seeing in our country. Is that how that's why these old men will hold this power until they say they don't want to hold it. No youth, we have access. No youth. So are you telling me that as Nigerian youth, we cannot come together, bring up our own candidate, a youth candidate, and all Nigerian youth, we mobilize funding. When every Nigerian send 1,000 to the campaign account, do you know how many million Nigerian youth constitute over 60% of Nigerian population? So if over 100 million Nigerians deposit 1,000 naira at least to campaign fund, we have mobilized billions for our own candidate, and the Nigerian youth will support. Everybody will vote for that youth. We will knock off these old people. But look at what we are doing. Dissipating our energy, creating splinter groups, because we want our own personal political favor and to make personal money. That's what it is. There's nothing good that will come out of this movement. They will only collect money, close their mouth, support whoever. And obviously they will support APC at the end of the day. That's what it will be. So I'm not advising Nigerians to, be enrolling in this kind of platform. You don't need to enroll. That day, take your voter's card, go and vote for your candidate. Whoever you are supporting, vote for the person. That's it. You don't need any movement to vote. You need to be yourself. Hold your voter's card. Vote that day. That's all you need to do. I don't get it. So let them continue, run Nigeria to the ground, and you people will continue to complain. That's it. Anyway, guys, before I leave, I will just add some part of the media chat he had. It's not everything because it's too long. It's close to 20 minutes. So I'm gonna just put in some stuff. At least that gives you an idea of the video. You can search for it on the internet and be able to watch it through to the end. Okay. So I don't want this video to be as lengthy as it can be. So I just want to make a point to let Nigerians know that this is what is going on politically today, and that this idea these people have brought up will not help anybody. It will weaken the opposition further, and then the bad guys who are there will continue to be there. So there's no need to complain. It is what you guys brought to yourself. So I'm gonna leave it here. I don't know what your own intentions are. I don't know what you think about this whole thing. I would like to get your comment at the comment section. Let us know what you think. Do you think what these guys are doing, kind of creating a splinter group to, they are mirroring what Obidient has, been doing for quite some time now? Do you think this step is a right step in the right direction? What do you think these people will do differently from what Obidient has done? Do you think these people will coagulate those kind of voices, looking at their intentions? Don't you think that this platform is just established to wait for politicians who can, be the highest bidder and they support the person irrespective of who the person is? Don't you think so? Because when you look at the statements, the actions, and for them creating this platform at this time, where we are there since 2023, they should have kind of worked together to strengthen the Obidient movement. You remember, Obidient movement just came up, as a result of Peter Obi's movement from PDP to Labour Party at that time. So it's not as if it's planned. It came up, and they still made a lot of ways, which all the political parties acknowledge that these guys are very, very powerful. El-Rufai, that's why all of them now are looking at to be running to Peter Obi and the rest of them because of his support base. So now with this, what is going on today, what is your thought on what these guys are doing? Is it the right thing? Is it not for Nigerian youth to come together under the existing umbrella of the Obidient? It doesn't matter whether you like Obidient or not. It's about the soul of Nigeria. It's not about Obidient. It's not about, they abuse people online and all of. That's not the issue. The issue first is save Nigeria first. If you can't save Nigeria first, you can't save yourself. You can't save Obidient. You can't save anybody. Our people said, that is to say, you need to secure the land first before securing mattress or foam or mat. Because you need the ground to put the mat. So if you go and secure mat first, which ground will you put the mat? That is the point. So Nigerian soul first before we now talk about every other thing. And how to secure it is for whole Nigerians to come together as one. Support a candidate, vote massively for that candidate, and protect our vote. That's the only way we can make this change. Otherwise, with the way things are going, APC will dismantle every other political party and every other candidate, that they will only be the only candidate, contesting an election in Nigeria and winning an election. That is the angle Nigerian politics is going. If they succeed doing this in 2027, forget about 2031. It's gone. So that's what it is. So guys, let me hear from you. Drop your comment in the comment section, and if you are new to this channel, like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and put on your notification bell so that when my next new video drop, you will be among those that will be notified. Do have a wonderful day, guys. I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. All right, so we'll see how it goes. Have a nice day. See you. I'm signing out.
I have no personal relationship with Mr. Peter Obi. Mr. Peter Obi has been here in this building at a point where the big tent had its retreat sometime in July this year. And that was actually the second physical contact that I had with him. But I had operated as his director of finance of the Obidient Movement for more than a year now, appointed sometime last year. And as director of finance, I carried out my function as much as I can, and most of the time supporting, personally speaking. All right, so I have no personal relationship with him. I'm just his director of finance. Thank you so much. That answers that question. Who is bankrolling? He has answered. Why is this meeting holding in this place and not at the Obidient house? I resigned my directorship of finance of the Obidient Movement about 2-3 days ago, and sent a letter to the headquarters that I was no longer going to continue in that role as a person, based on all of the points we've mentioned here, for the reason why the movement Nigeria has come to be. The meeting is holding here today because this is my facility. This is my hard-earned the product of my hard-earned labor. This is my place. And if I am championing a new move, it's like holding the move in my house. They say charity begins at home. So this is my home, and I'm speaking from my home right now. And that is why I'm not in the Obidient headquarters. And the last question was, when last did I attend the meeting of the Obidient Movement? I'm sorry to say that the lack of structure does not fit with my personality, the way I have grown as an architect of repute for the last 30 years. I have not been informed of meetings and activities for a while now. And you can imagine a director of finance in an organization not even knowing where or what is happening. Good morning, distinguished members of the press, fellow Nigerian, and everyone joining us across the country and beyond. My name is Dr. Peter Agada of the Movement Nigeria. Today is not just another announcement. Today is a declaration that a new generation of Nigerians are ready not just to complain, not to observe, but to organize. Because across our nation today, there is a shared feeling, a feeling that things can be better, a feeling that we deserve more, a feeling that Nigeria, with all its potential, has not yet become what it should be. From our cities to our rural communities, from young graduates searching for opportunities, a platform built, one, on simple ideas, that the citizens that are organized, informed, and engaged, when citizens are organized, informed, and engaged, change becomes possible. We are not built around personalities. We are built around participation and collective energy. We are not driven by noise. We are driven by structure. We are not here for moments. We are here for the long journey of nation building. Why this movement exists? Across Nigeria today, there is a growing awareness. People are asking questions. People are paying attention. People want to be involved. Let's not be overly negative of our past experience and sound only the drums of pessimism. To be fair, we the people have always been ready, passionate. We were ready in October 2020 during that historic attempt to reform the Nigerian Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS. Equally, we were well in 2023 when our poured out emotions completely into the then Obidient Movement. But the structural and leadership system to properly organize us somehow never got built. It never got built during the NSAS due to being youthful. Youthful exuberance had its day. And unfortunately and unexpectedly never got built during the 2023 Obidient wave also. For some reason, that remains elusive to me and to all of us seated here. The Movement Nigeria exists to bridge that gap. Because the people can't afford to dwell in the past. Neither can we afford to dwell in regret. But we learned through those powerful movements that without structure, energy is lost. Participation becomes inconsistent, and impact becomes limited. The Movement Nigeria exists to provide the missing structure. How will the movement operate? We will operate as an organized civil network of working Nigerians. Take note, working Nigerians across the country and beyond. Working Nigerians across the country and beyond. Through community-based groups, digital engagement platforms, civic education initiatives, leadership development programs. Our focus is simple: to connect all Nigerians who care and give them a system through which they can participate meaningfully. What is our end goal? Our long-term goal is clear: to contribute to building a Nigeria where, 1, citizens are actively involved. 2, systems functions more effectively. 3, leadership emerges from preparation, not chance. 4, the national development reflects our collective effort. We are not thinking in months. We are thinking in years, in decades, and in generations. How does this movement help Nigeria? We believe Nigeria improves when, 1, citizens understand their role. 2, people are informed about issues. 3, communities are organized. 4, participation becomes consistent. 5, this movement will encourage civil and citizen political, economic, and social awareness, promote responsible engagement, support political and social leadership development, and finally, strengthen the culture of political and civic participation. Who can join this movement? This movement is open to every Nigerian who believes in responsibility and progress. Young people, professionals, entrepreneurs, students, workers, Nigerians in diaspora, and if you care about Nigeria, you actually belong here. How do you join? Joining is very simple. Through our digital platforms and community networks, connect with others in their local areas, in their localities through WhatsApp groups, participate in discussion and physical location across all the states and local governments in Nigeria, and become a part of organized civic and volunteering activities in their communities. This is not about spectators. This is about participants and participation. What members will do when they become members of the Movement Nigeria? From day one, members will, one, engage in civic and political education with their peers and their neighbors. Two, participate in structured discussion. Three, contribute ideas, support community-based initiatives. We are building a culture where people do not talk about change, but people become part of the change process. What makes this movement different from all the other movements that have been before now? What makes us different is structure, not just emotions, not just momentum, not abuses and insults, but organization, consistency, clarity, and long-term approach to national political development. On political engagement, as a civic movement, we recognize the political systems are part of national development. We are committed to engaging responsibly, transparently, and constructively with democratic organizations or parties. And that is what we are here to build. As a coordinated, organized, and engaged citizenship movement, that is what we're here to actually construct, the Movement Nigeria. This is not the end of something. This is the beginning of Movement Nigeria, the movement of the working but struggling people of this great nation. I repeat, it is the movement of working but struggling people of this great nation. I thank you very much for your time, and I wish Nigeria all the best. Nigeria shall be greater, Nigeria shall be better, and Nigeria shall be brighter. Thank you so much. Now, asking me of who this movement is supporting, we are just generating the solutions to what we think this nation needs to move forward and bringing back this wealth of experience to the fore. We will invite anyone who will agree at this point in time to drive Nigeria in that direction, and that is the person who will support at the end of the day. So at this point in time, I would say to you that what we're doing right now is we are taking our principles, what we need to do in this country, to granular details so that anyone can jump on it and become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So we are not, in essence, we are not supporting one particular person. I said in the news, in the speech, it's not built on any personality. It is not for Ashiwaju, it is not for Obi, it is not for Atiku or any one of them. Thank you so much.
Who are you going to support? Who is there in your mind? Actually, even if you don't wish to mention name, will you mention some description so that we can understand?
Can you describe that person? I will tell him. I will answer the first part of the reason why we are not there anymore. He will answer the second part of who. Can you answer that question? Okay. All right. We said it here during the speech that there was a very powerful move in 2020 by NSAS. It became a frittered, okay, because of youthful exuberance. There was no organization. The intent of those kids was very powerful, was very novel, and it was very, very impactful. But youthful exuberance. Again, we came in 2023 using personal capacities, resources, relationship, and everything we have. We generated a massive movement called the Obidient Movement, which was very impactful. Again, energy is lost for one singular reason: no structure. I am an architect. I am used to building structures, physically speaking, architecture and structures. I saw through this from the beginning. I said it. In fact, my first meeting with Mr. Peter Obi in the house of our board of trustee members, Elder Felix Ohiwere, Elder Felix Kolade, in the presence of Mr. Patu Tomi, with a laptop in my front, professionals called from all over the world. This happened in Ikoyi in 2022. And all we were telling Mr. Obi was structure. Structure and structure. It never happened. So today we are here because there's no structure and we do not want to lose the energy of the youth. That's basically the reason why we're here. And we are creating a more encompassing movement. Because if you also know, even when we had the Obidient Movement, there were Obedients in other political parties scattered all over the place. I hope you know, APC had some. Now we want a situation where we can gather all of us together and possibly even have the APC come under this movement. This is the movement of Nigerian people. All right? So that is the intent. I don't know if I've answered your question.